So I grew up in South Africa, and in South Africa, the primary schools that I used to go to, they don't have laboratories. Even the high schools that I went to before I went to a Model C high school. Now, a Model C high school is a high school that is in the middle class area. So later in life, I got exposure, and in my high school, I got to work in the laboratory, and my science teacher was very engaged, and she introduced chemistry to me in grade 10. So chemistry for me was a big challenge. So your question of when did I start to have an interest, I think for me it was more of something that challenged me, that was different to things that I've learned before. Yeah, this is a topic that's very dear to my heart because I'm very interested in issues of equality. And when I looked at the statistics, it seems the margin is too much. There's about only 23% women in STEM, and from the statistics, only 17% in leadership. And so we're only saying in STEM in general. In engineering, maybe, probably, most probably, much lower. And so the issues that surround this in South Africa, the context of South Africa, women in South Africa, especially from my background, which is black women, which are disadvantaged women, there's issues of having to provide for the family after you have received your education. And so this is one of the issues that many women don't get to further their studies. It's not that they lack the ability or the want of wanting to study. It's just that there are challenges as women in South Africa. And some young women, they get married at an earlier age. And really some, even the ones that are married, are discouraged to further their studies. And so this is why you'll see that the numbers are quite low. But even with the women that have made it into the spaces of science, the support that women get to climb the ladder, it's a challenge. It's the industry is competitive, because now to be a competitive scientist, the output is your publications. And so even with this, in South Africa, it's recently a democratic country, and so within Africa, it's one of the countries that lots of other African students or women come to further their studies. And so it's not only solely South African women, it's women from other African countries that come inside South Africa to try to empower themselves. And so this kind of a competitive environment exists within the industry. But also it is good to have this kind of a variety, because we have people from different backgrounds, and so people who've learned to apply science in different ways. It's a good way to embrace each other and work together and collaborate. But what I've presented are some of the challenges that South African women face within South Africa. In the leadership, I feel like there should be more support for women to advance even more. So I would advise a girl to know her passion. I would advise a girl who wants to do science to be curious within science. I would advise a girl to ask questions, not to limit herself, not to fear. I'm saying this because this was my challenge. As I grew up within the science field, I was so afraid of asking questions. And for a young girl in science, this is very important. Ask questions. Ask the challenging questions, because science is a form of answering complicated questions. Scientifically, so many problems within our world can be addressed. But I want to encourage a scientist child to continue to ask questions. I want to encourage a scientist girl child to go towards the spaces where you have the mentorship and the support, and to open yourself up to the people who are willing to help you and to mentor you in this field. Science is a field where you can explore as much as you want. Science is a field where you can explore in the environment. Science is a field where you can explore in psychology. Science is a field where you can explore in biological systems. Science is a field where you can explore so much. So for me, I think to do science, you have to know what you're inclined to, what you are interested in. I would encourage you as a girl child to be able to connect with people. I'm saying this because this is what I struggled with, and this was my challenge. And so I would encourage for you to build yourself and your character, and the way you interact with people, and also the connections with people. I think these are the important things that I want to touch on. How you connect with people, and also your curiosity to question, and also the passion. It has to be there. Science is very passion oriented. You have to have the passion for science.